Your cold calls could fail if you're trying really hard to sound like a salesperson. But the question is, what's the most simple but effective advice when it comes to cold calling? This coach's honest advice is stop performing and just start being curious. You don't need to have an overly polished opener. You don't have to be sounding uber confident. You just need to sound a little bit more human. After reviewing thousands of calls, the ones that actually land are the ones that actually sound like a conversation, right? They're not rushed, they're not scripted, and you don't sound too desperate. I'm gonna hit you with 5 tips to help you out. But before I do, remember that every week on Monday, I run a session on Zoom for free called Coach on Call. It's open for any sales reps that have questions and are hungry for coaching and want to get it for free. DM me if you want the invite. All right, so the tips. So number 1 is slow your pace before you dial. You may be in a bit of a rush, you may be super nervous, but slow it down conversationally as if you'd be talking to your best friend, say at the pub, or catching up with one of your besties. Tip number 2 is drop the script as soon as possible. Scripts are what we use early on to understand what are we going to say in the conversation and kind of like what's the structure of that conversation. But if you could maybe just go onto the call, close your eyes even, and just imagine you're talking to somebody that's in the room. And ask yourself when you're looking at the script, is this how you would actually speak to anybody else? And if it isn't, then that script's not really you. So again, drop the script. What's the problem with this picture? It's freaking cold! And that's the problem. Yes, on cold calls, it's better to lead with problems that your prospects may recognize and they can relate to versus pitching about what your platform does. So it's problems, not pictures. And back to the word of curiosity. Be curious more about them versus your platform or product. So when you're connecting with a prospect, you want to learn about their day-to-day. What does that look like? What things do they have to get accomplished? What are their daily goals? What are their daily challenges? Who do they report to? Who reports to them? What type of information do they have to collate to? Like, how did they get to where they are today and what are they looking to do this year? Be curious more in your prospects and ask more questions around those topics. And tip number 5, if somebody hangs up on you, don't take it personally, reset, move on. So remember, curiosity is what can keep your prospects on the line. It's when you're trying to perform that can push them off it.